Hello. Welcome to Oranjoose's Kinzu review. To not bore you to tears, I'm going to try to make this fairly brief, and it's going to be broken down into two parts. The first part, surprising or not surprising, is the most important part of this two-part series. A mouse decision should be made almost entirely based on how right the mouse feels in your hand while you work or play. Of course, this selection is ultimately limited to the mouses that are worthy of selection, which is actually a pretty low number. And today I'm going to be demonstrating a new contender to this list of potential mouses, and that is the SteelSeries Kinzu Optical. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is actually I'm going to request user participation. So get out a ruler like this one and measure the base of your palm to the tip of its middle finger. This is my left hand, so I'm actually going to be measuring the hand that I use. For mouses, I use both, but I'm going to be using my right hand today. And so it's we have almost 7.5 inches. So like 7 3/8 inches. So this will help you be able to relate. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. If I say it's pretty small compared to my hand, and your hand is much bigger than mine, then it's really small. Alright, you get the idea. Alright, here in front of me are three other popular gaming mouses. The first one over here is the Kinzu, the SteelSeries Kinzu. And then down the line we have the Razer Death Adder. We have the Diamondback 3G. And finally, we have the old classic Microsoft Wheel Mouse Optical 1.1. This part of the video I feel is kind of nice, because a lot of videos you don't actually get to see a comparison of a mouse against maybe your favorite mouse. And while your favorite mouse might not be in this list, I felt like these were four pretty common mouses to choose from, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys size comparisons just up close and personal. Alright. This mouse pad that you see, this green thing, also for reference, is the IceMat 2, which is practically identical to the SteelSeries i2. The reason you actually see a cardboard piece on top of it is, as I'll be mentioning later on in the second part of this series, the SteelSeries Kinzu does not actually track well on it at all. And so I put a piece of paperboard from a cereal box on top of it so that I could at least use the mouse. A little unfortunate piece of information. So I'm going to very briefly mention how I feel about the other mouses, so you can also get an idea of the type of mouser I am, so you can either relate or disassociate with my opinions. My personal favorite is probably the Wheel Mouse Optical by Microsoft as far as feel goes and weight. It's been a favorite for, I'm a little bit biased, I've used the thing for like 7 years. And recently I actually have been using the second one over here, the Diamondback 3G. I've been using it more than the Wheel Mouse Optical. It's my current favorite choice, even though I don't like the shape quite as much. I like how there's more to offer as far as buttons. Next one is the Death Adder. This one feels really nice. It kind of works for me like a comfort bike, you know, ones with unnecessary suspension, like rear suspension, even seat suspension. It feels nice on the hand, but I feel it's a little bit big. And there's a ridge right here that I feel like, in a way, almost detracts from the ergonomics. It kind of pushes into my palm in a way that doesn't really rub me the right way. So I feel it's a little big, and the shape of it is not very practical for me. It just feels nice. It doesn't actually. I don't feel very effective with it. Anyway, now that I've gotten those out of the way, I want to talk about the Kinzu. The reason why you're watching this, yeah. Now, you know, 6 minutes in, finally getting to hear how I feel about this mouse. I'm going to be only really talking about stuff that you can't really just find online. So more like relative measurements, and also just my own personal opinion on how it feels. So let's go ahead and move a couple of these mouses off so you can see two at a time. Here we have the Kinzu and the Death Adder. As you can see, the Death Adder is quite a bit taller. So what you get is much flatter mouse with the Kinzu, and it's also quite a bit shorter, as you can see them side by side. The Kinzu, I feel, feels actually really nice. I think it challenges the Wheel Mouse Optical really well as far as the feel goes. I feel like it fits nice and snug between both my pinky and my thumb, and I'm kind of a finger mouser for anyone who knows, I guess, the difference between claw grip, palm grip, and finger grip. I feel like the Death Adder works pretty well as a palm grip mouse, but for me, I kind of juggle the mouse between my pinky and my thumb as I track with my arm. And I feel like it works really well for that. It's also a nice grab. There aren't any unnecessary buttons on the sides that you can accidentally press, but if you do like those buttons, then unfortunately you will definitely be missing out here with this Kinzu mouse. Just so you can see it up against its most close relative in terms of comfort, here is the Microsoft Wheel Mouse Optical. Cool. And we see it's actually smaller. It actually is a smaller guy than that Wheel Mouse Optical. So surprising or not surprising, it's a fair size, a fair bit flatter, and it actually feels flatter too. This Wheel Mouse Optical is kind of bulky, but it fits your hand really nicely. And the Kinzu feels kind of like a micro version of the Wheel Mouse Optical, but it doesn't detract in any way. I don't feel like the smaller size in any way makes it less holdable. It feels actually really nice in the hand. There's another kind of interesting thing about the mouse, and it's that it's got a new kind of braided cloth cord. This cord is unlike the cords that you see on the other mouses that are plastic. The cloth cord, I think, actually is an excellent addition. It makes the mouse much less likely to fly off the mouse pad. Anyway, I believe that we're done. Over 10 minutes.